Today we'll be looking at the background of this unnamed lady's life who received grace and favor from Jesus. She was physically weak. She had 12 years of uterine bleeding. This would have made her physically weak. She was socially ostracized. Leviticus 15:25-27 says, "If a woman has a discharge of blood for many days, not at the time of her menstrual impurity, or if she has a discharge beyond the time of her impurity, all the days of the discharge, she shall continue in uncleanness. As in the days of her impurity, she shall be unclean. Every bed on which she lies all the days of her discharge shall be to her as the bed of her impurity, and everything on which she sits shall be unclean, as in the uncleanness of her menstrual impurity. And whoever touches these things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening." The woman was unclean for 12 years, which means that nobody would have hugged, touched, or come near her during this time. Nobody could sit on her bed or come close to her. She could not relate with anyone for 12 years. She was emotionally drained. 12 years is a long time to be sick. Frustration would build in because of going from one physician to the other with no good outcome. She must have been depressed. Her emotional needs were not met at all. She was financially bankrupt. In Mark 5:26 we read, "And who had suffered under many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was no better, but rather grew worse." It became worse when healers became torturers. The people you think are going to be your healing agents became torturing agents. Luke, being a physician, does not report the fact that she suffered under many physicians. In those days, there were many quacks who gave bizarre prescriptions and charged patients for it too. If the patients were not healed, they blamed him or her for not following the instructions properly. Mark was not exaggerating when he reports that she had suffered much at the hand of many physicians. She went to the doctors with the hope of getting healed, but instead of becoming better, her condition grew worse. How often has your hope turned into hurts? We put our hope in something only to realize that it only enhances the problem instead of solving it. Our need is spiritual and relational. The spiritual has to be dealt with for the relational to be resolved. Have a blessed weekend.